Everyone can agree that plastic pollution is a problem, especially in the ocean. But has anyone ever sat down and thought about how plastic pollution is affecting freshwater ecosystems? You see pictures of sea life getting caught in plastic and how we need to promote change on social media, giant organizations cleaning up entire beaches, huge fundraisers raising money to help clean the ocean. But have you ever seen promotions for the ecosystem we rely on the most? However, even though freshwater ecosystems are much smaller than the vastness of that is the ocean, it is still home to so much important life that needs just as much attention, if not more, than the ocean.
How do you think freshwater wildlife is affected by plastic pollution?
I would imagine that freshwater wildlife would be affected by plastic pollution by choking on plastic parts that are wasted, like styrofoam and maybe plastic straws. Would I be correct?
Yeah, a lot of freshwater wildlife is affected by that through entanglement and suffocation. Also, they consume a lot of the plastics, mostly microplastics. So, because plastic doesn't decompose in the ground, it actually just breaks up into smaller pieces. So, it's affecting the food chain as well. Because small animals like fish eat plastic, and then you have bigger animals eating them. Also, it affects their health a lot because plastic has a lot of chemicals in it. So it's affecting their behavior, their morphology, and their reproductivity.
When plastic is disposed of in freshwater environments, it is directly impacting the diet, health, and habitat of the organisms living there. Macroplastics, such as plastic bags, water bottles, and toothpaste containers, make an impact by causing suffocation or entrapment. Microplastics, or plastics less than 5 millimeters in size, can be seen impacting animals due to ingestion. In fact, numerous animals and species of fish are consuming plastics, mistaking it as food due to its size, color, and distribution throughout its habitat. There is also indirect consumption being seen in the food chain. Microplastics are being consumed and or absorbed by small prey or producers, which are then being consumed by larger prey, which eventually is eaten by us, humans, as the final consumer. There also comes a plethora of health problems affecting the behavior, morphology, and reproductivity of these animals. Examples of this could be problems arising in their mobility, delayed ovulation, blocking of the intestines, neurotoxicity, difficulty breathing, tumor formation, and inevitably death. Overall, the problem with wildlife and plastic pollution lies in the ingestion and entanglement of plastic.
So, how do you think plastic pollution affects bodies of water?
Well, certainly visually. So if me and my buddies go to the lake or the ocean, we'll see a bunch of plastic bits, maybe glass pieces, things that aren't supposed to be there. Makes those bodies of water, which are traditionally beautiful, kind of hard to look at, maybe not as safe. But of course, the main concern would be with how the animals are affected, with either absorbing the plastic by eating it or just that plastic moving down the food chain, essentially poisoning everything. So that can all be really harmful for the body of water.
Yeah, so like you were saying, the main concern isn't um, about plastic giving off harmful chemicals in bodies of water, it's actually the animals that are being affected by it. Like plastic can get attached to the animals, which affect their well-being, and then whenever they consume it, that leads to us eating it, which can probably be harmful for us. According to a 2014 study published in PLOS 1, there's at least 5.25 trillion plastic particles weighing 268,940 tons that are currently floating at sea. The concern of plastic finding its way into bodies of water is not the chemicals found in the water like other pollutants, but rather the fact that large pieces of plastic doesn't biodegrade. Instead, it breaks down into smaller pieces and can survive for hundreds of years. The plastic found in the ocean ends up in animal stomachs, around their necks, has led to an increase of invasive species, reduces stomach capacity, and hinders growth, which can lead to negative changes in populations and morphology.
So when you go with trash, where do you think it goes?
It's like a junkyard with piles of trash.
Yeah, like landfills.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They have more to it though. They had incinerators. It's like large furnaces where they burn trash up to 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit, and they have digesters where they transfer trash or waste to energy, like, and they use it for like fertilizer, and, stuff like that. Trash could end up in one of many places, but it depends on how you dispense your items. Most of your trash go to a landfill in a local area, or if it's electronic items, they can be used to generate electricity, or maybe sent out of the nation. In order to understand what happens to trash when you throw it away, it's important to know about the process of recycling, composting, and using waste to energy, as well as shipping waste overseas. Roughly 35% of solid waste go to recycling or composting facilities. These facilities focus on aluminum, plastic, paper, and glass. Trash incinerators are large furnaces that burns trash. Its extensive heat reaches about 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. The process reduces the original volume of waste by 95%, reducing the amount of landfill space needed. Also, you have anaerobic digesters, which transfer waste to energy. This process uses microorganisms to transfer waste materials into energy or fertilizer for farms.
How do you think water pollution affects skin health?
I think it clogs your pores and makes your skin dry.
Yes, it can start as far as acne, but it can grow to become polio, trachoma, anything of that nature. One of the most common ones is known as swimmer itch that younger kids, but once you get it, you can't get rid of it.
What is it?
It's like a rash. It'll start, and it basically just eats away at the flesh, and it'll start from the feet on up.
That's terrible. Oh my god.
Very obvious, everyone would like to clean themselves with clean water. But what are we doing to help with this? Seeing that 3/3 of the earth is water, and that's where most of all our trash goes, we are drastically affected. Many oceans are known as dumps or even trash cans. Problem is, it's causing an increased growth of bad bacteria, which will continue to get worse. This same ocean water is the water that is used to supply all nearby cities and states. Therefore, if the problem worsens, this bacteria can turn into a disease that would eat away at the skin.
So I wanted to ask, have you ever littered before?
Unfortunately, I have made short-sighted decisions as far as what's convenient for me, things like single-use plastics, or maybe the trash can is just too far away. Although I do love and appreciate our planet, I have made those mistakes. I have littered for sure.
So I just wanted to go off on that. So when you think about it, small actions like yourself, you're just one out of the big population, 350 million in America. If you want to talk about statistics, America alone produces around 250 million tons of trash alone. Around 51 billion pieces. Just walking around and we live in it, we swim in it, it's literally everywhere. And thinking about it, when it affects our homes, thinking about how it will affect not only us, our children, and the sea life, and just thinking about how all these small actions of 350 million people creating one small action of just taking their plastic bottle and just throwing it away. And when you have 350 million people doing that on a daily basis, it creates that 250 million tons of trash, the 51 billion pieces that we're forced to walk in, live in, and eventually breathe in, and just have to eventually just consume it. And it's a really big problem, and it's something that we have to talk about.
Absolutely.
Cigarette butts, plastic bottles, napkins are everyday things found in everyday streets. If we were to try to estimate how much litter are on our streets, it'll amount to something like 51 billion pieces. America alone produces 250 million tons of trash. Sometimes people take a second to pick something up, but what about our freshwater ecosystems? After fishing, swimming, or etc., when do we take the time to swim to that bottle floating over there? If we walk in 51 billion pieces of litter, how much litter are we swimming in? How much plastic do we force our ecosystem to live in as we drive away to never even put one thought into our careless acts?